What's up? What it do? What's the vibe check? What's the vibe check? What's y'all's energies like? All right. Whatever it's like, I'm going to ask you to raise your vibrations and frequencies to tune in into mine. And let's get ready to have this conversation. All right. So today's going to be a focus episode. I don't know if I said that right. So today's focus episode is going to be how are masses influenced and controlled. All right. So again, I am asking you to see this in an open mind, to see this as, all realities are realities and possible. All possibilities are possibilities. And, it can be a crazy thing. It can be the truth. It can be reality, whatever you may be, but just have the awareness of this. But, again, everything I talk about on here is from my personal experiences, research, and beliefs, or just perspectives on things. It may be my truth. It just may be my experience. It may just be my belief in this time. I don't know, if I change whatever in the future, then I change. Guess what? That's what we do. So, I fully and highly encourage everyone that is listening and tuning in and getting any information from me to please do your research and to please do your own judgment and really focus on, why do you believe it? Why don't you believe it? Is it a possibility? Is it not a possibility? All right. So with keeping that in mind, let's get into it. All right. So the question, how are masses influenced and controlled? All right, so to really just break down what that means, in case no one knows what that means, the masses is the collective, the mass, communities, countries, cultures, just massive groups of people, society. And when I'm talking about being influenced and being controlled, people write that off so quickly as like, oh, wow, you believe that. Like, you believe that the government, the mass media is controlling us. And it's like, do you not? And when I'm asking that, it's like, do you honestly and truly believe that that these messages that these companies, these corporates, these advertisements, all this stuff is just because they want to? It's like, no, like everything has a purpose. Everything is going back to power, profit, and just control. And okay, let's just like really focus on what is being influenced and how. So what exactly is being influenced is our beliefs, our interests, our personal conflicts, growth, expansion, and our power of choice, and actually knowing what the power of choice is. It's also just really, it takes root in our automatic thinking and how we decide to live a lifestyle. So it's also rooted in what and how we value things, people, and what our realities are. So to get into some depths, let's talk about the beliefs, interests, conflicts, growth, and expansion. It all goes down to our power of choice. Mass media has gone in its roots, has gone in its ways to really influence us and program us. Like, these words are going to be like triggering, be like, oh my God, what you mean? It's been it's been engraved into our minds and into our behaviors and into our root chakras, our perspectives, our just way of being, and how far we expand ourselves, what we choose to believe in, how far we choose to go, and what we hold value to, and how we treat it with value. So, now, like, modern days, everyone's, when I say everyone, this is like the media outlook. Everyone's focused on, being the next video superstar, being the next YouTuber, being the next TikToker, being the next millionaire, still the next reality star, and in others' realities, in truth, is others are just trying to make it by. Others are actually paving the way of the new way of living, of the new way of seeing things, of the new world, because we're not going back to what it was. But we're really focused right now in this era and in this time on what are you contributing. That is what's holding value. Not like celebrities, government officials, and a lot of people and things that we have idolized and put on a pedestal have been basically been crushing down, and just we realize, how we've been valuing this whole time. Like, what are they even doing to help us? If there's like, oh, while they're suffering, we're suffering, it starts having this internal conflict and these internal questions of like, why, like, you're really more focused on just staying where you're at instead of, actually doing something. But you're gonna be on social media and put your 2 cents in and your energy in engaging and in giving power into bullshit or empty manipulative sources and topics and agendas that actually become very powerful in limiting in how we think and what we act and how we just how we decide to choose things. So with it going in what we like, that covers what and how we value things. Do we value ourselves and others by being materialistic? Do we value ourselves and others by being spiritual? Do we value ourselves in general? Like, how do we value ourselves? Do we even consider that's like an important thing, to value ourselves, to treat ourselves, to have times to express? A lot of people are just like, that's like a luxurious thing to do. We don't got time for that. We don't have the energy for that. We don't have time. We don't have money for that. Like, this is a human thing that we should all be able to access and really be in tune with and understand fully, in whatever aspect it may be. Okay, so how are they controlling us? How are they controlling the masses? They control by food, by education, limited beliefs, and social uphold and value. So to go over those, because there's quite a few. Education. Think about how... See, I already knew this, actually being in high school, which is weird. But as a high schooler, like as a student, as a kid, as a teenager, I already knew how corrupted the school system was. It's all about politics also within the school system. I knew that shit since the sophomore year. Being on a dance team, I saw that, people that, like, parents that held PTA bullshit and board meetings and all these things, that they never really, like, that is what people hold value to. It's like, who's your connection? Who is your networking? Networking has turned into a really ugly thing, but it can be such a great, powerful thing, which it is, but to who can take advantage of it. So, in our education systems, we don't realize how much things are censored and really persuaded and biased to certain communities, to certain areas, to certain aspects. Like, why are we not being taught global and universal things instead of just, this is how we are and that's it? How is that? We're supposed to be expanding ourselves in all kinds of ways. So I just really don't understand that censoring and bias and whitewashing and capitalistic and I need to stop talking shit because that's why I can't even say that word. Colonizing and dogmatic fucking views and oppression fucking limited beliefs. Limited beliefs, like I went over that. Food is something people look over all the fucking time, and I think it's just so hard for me to connect because honestly, okay, like, if I don't know if anybody knows this, but I'm vegan, and I didn't choose. When I say I didn't choose to be vegan, it's like I didn't fucking like when I was going through my spiritual awakening in the very beginning, and part of this journey, I just became very, very, very connected and in tune, and always want to learn more about how can I be more connected with nature and earth. And a few documentaries I definitely recommend to watch just to open your conscious and mind. Just watch. I'm not telling you any of it's like absolutely true or fake or whatever. Do your fucking research. But honestly, those documentaries have expanded me in so many fucking ways. And the first one you guys should definitely watch is What the Health. It's on Netflix. I promise this time I'll definitely leave the links and information in the description. I just tend to forget. But What the Health on Netflix, it exposes the medical industry and systems for profit. It exposes the mass medias and our government for profit, all in contributing basically in damaging our health and our systems and really controlling us and fogging up our bodies. Like, this is part of the whole spiritual aspect that, you know, if you're not clearing your body, if you're not cleansing it, if you're not keeping it with lively, full of live things, then yeah, you are just eating dead consciousness. You're just eating nothing that has life in it. So you're gonna feel dead. You're gonna feel groggy. You're gonna be fogged up. You're not gonna be in tune with yourself. And also, I just need to really focus on talking to everybody who's listening to this, as you guys are already on this path, because I am in the works of, you know, helping people transition into that. But honestly, listening to these, if you guys are even making this far, I know you guys are keeping up. So it's really important to understand that food is fuel to the body. So that is a huge influence on how our government has played into manipulating and just influencing us, people of color, minority communities, and just different aspects of the countries. Like I said, do your own research. Not saying all this is true, not saying this is all fake, but, you know, if you want to see my opinion, just ask. We can definitely talk about it. Okay, the other documentary I definitely want to talk about real quick, or just mention, is Social Dilemma. That one is a fucking great one. Social Dilemma on Netflix. That one talks about how deeply addicting and truly addicting social media is, and what its purpose is to do to us, and how its profit is, you know, human futures, and how its purpose is to always have the next right video, the right song, the next right ad, app, whatever it may be for you, so you can never get off your phone, so you are always clicking and are always being on your phone. But this year, if anything, I know everyone has either taken a break from social media or have noticed how draining social media truly is and how toxic and disgusting it has turned into. And Social Dilemma talks about these huge, like, these creators for Facebook, for all these apps, Twitter, and all these things. These creators talked about why they quit and how it became an addicting and for-profit type of thing. And they don't even let their own children have these things. Like, they don't let their own children have these apps because they know what they created. Y'all need to tune into that. So again, Social Dilemma and What the Health on Netflix. Definitely look into those. Okay. Okay. I am going freaking dry mouth over here. Okay. Moving on to another few ways how masses are being influenced and controlled is by mass media, religion, ads, the power of words, and marketing, and normalizing all of these things. So mass media is our news outlets, is our big time social media outlets. It's our big tech corporations. It's our it's our media corporations. It's who's holding the big bucks, who's holding the massive incomes. I mean, the massive systems, the massive influences, the networking. So, with that being said, mass media is not meant to freaking like incite fear into us. And I don't know about y'all, but the more I've been noticing, I have actually don't watch like a lot of news and all that shit because of how biased and just influential it can be. But you can still get the truth and definitely live a whole different life and knowing in like just being aware and in tune with what's going on in the world and still not being in part of like indulging yourself in social media and in mass media. But like something that people didn't even see is definitely like on Twitter while I had it was the videos of like the police officers running over people in protests, like these people not doing anything, and like all these manipulated videos and interviews and all this, like, you know, all these manipulated and cutted things to be posted on mass media, to be posted on websites, on news like on news and news channels and cable, like that is disgusting and that's scary. That, you know, I saw the whole video and they only posted that cropped part to do what? To persuade a certain kind of view. And that is not like, why is it like, knowing that, why isn't that not like alarming to anyone? That these things are having effect and these things are being publicized and normalized, knowing that that's not even the truth about it, when we've seen more videos and more extended versions of these things that are actually being posted out there. Religion is really the religion systems is really falling apart. You know, just like I said, do your research, see which systems have been falling apart within the last few days, like, and in the last few weeks and months. Like, it's crazy. But a lot of people are going into the spiritual route but leaving religion behind. Religion had its place, but it's just a time of leaving it. And when I'm talking about living a spiritual life, it's also meaning like to live a faithful life, to live a religiously life. It's just to mean to hold something sacred, hold something to value, hold something with respect, hold it, you know, like a repetitive, just like a religiously thing, but not to be religious. Like, religion is, you know, it's just been manipulated in its way and it's very tricky to people. But the idea of God, prayer, and all these things are so well understood in expansive ways when you allow yourself to open up yourself, when you allow yourself to open your consciousness and thinking and just views to everything out there, and you see how well connected everything truly is to one source, or to like the same story, the same parable, the same type of method. So I can talk to you about God, Jesus, divine, aliens, magic, the underworld, freaking fairies, witches. Like, I can talk to you about spirituality in all aspects and still give you the same message. Okay, now the last few things is the dogmatic way of thinking, addiction, short-term pleasure, and the power of words. Okay, so again, not to be too long on this part, but I've worked in retail and as a makeup artist and as a salesman it's so normalized to really market things and to use your power of words to get people thinking a certain way, to implement and to like just put things in its place, without being so upfront about it and so turned off by it. And nobody, like, why does nobody think that's weird or like what the fuck? Like, even in school they taught us this, y'all. They taught us about how authors use the power of persuasion, and they made us come up with ads and marketing tools and posters and whatever in class to persuade and to leave messages. And now we act like that's fucking BS and buffoonery and baloney. And in reality, we were taught these things because they're truth and they're being used. So, you know, when, like in ULTA, I'll say this. I came up with a way, and I taught it through the store, to get people's numbers and emails to register them into getting the membership, or like to get I forgot what it's called, but to get points, like an account there. And it was the way of starting the conversation and saying, like, you know, blah, 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 how are you doing? It's like, okay, so yeah, what's your point? So, like, what's your number for your points? And if you answer like, oh, I don't have one, it's like, oh, that's no worries. I was like, what's your first name again? Like, this will be super quick, and, you know, I'll even we can get you a gift, or you can get a coupon on this. Like, adding all these things while the person's not even consciously aware, or probably aware, not even wanting to do it, but they're just like, okay, whatever. Like, because of the way you are wording things, the way you're giving value to things, and, you know, our standards in society is all focused on that, on power of words and marketing. And it's crazy when you're like, holy shit, I have not been able to choose what I really liked. Like, I actually came out with a book, guys. So if you're listening to this and you're interested into really asking yourself taking a 30-day commitment and asking yourself these questions, these soul-seeking questions of what your reality is, what do you still hold on to, what do you wish to contribute, these personal deep questions, I'm actually giving that away for free. So it's just, you know, something to get people to take interest in me and into my work and what I want to create. So definitely, like, send me an email or contact with me if you want to read and take part of that book. It's called a self-transformation guide to a self-transformation oh my god, a guide to self-transformation, shadow step. So yeah, I'm sorry, but hit me up for that. But when I started asking these questions, I was like, so do I really care about makeup that way? Do I really care about these celebrities this way? Do I really hold this value to this way? And I was like, what do I really think? What do I really actually care? How do I really see the world? What do I really need to put myself into? Like, what am I holding myself back in? You need to ask these questions, because this is going to start helping you become uninfluenced. You have to unlearn the things you've learned. Last thing, I'm going to just tell everyone to really look into the sleeper effect. It is a massive and very powerful way to influence the masses. And it's focused on repetition of a message and following it with a discounting cue. Meaning it's the discounting cue is a comfort blow of the message, of how heavy the message can be. So it can be something like it's what I think it is, or what I can relate it to really easily is those medicine commercials, or those commercials that'll tell you how great something is, and at the very end they'll tell you real quick, like, these are oh my god, like, okay, this is perfect. So it's those commercials where they talk about, like, these life stories, or like they're getting people's testimonials, right? But then in print or at the end, these are like, oh, these are paid actors. But they're selling this product that's going to change your life. But these are paid actors. But they're telling you these life stories. And those advertisements get played so much that we forget about the fact that they're paid actors, and just remember so much about this helps them out so much because their stories are so believable, so inspiring, so transformational. So always think about that. And going like that whole process basically is a process of dissociation, which just takes away the which is a good way to take away conscious persuasion. Like we're not really like turned off by the whole this information may not be correct, or these people are paid actors or shit like that. Okay, moving on. Why are we being influenced? Why are masses being influenced? A quick thing to just get about that is that it's to engage to that source. Like, it's getting us to engage to an agenda, to a source, to a being, to something, so that thing can get power, that thing can get control. Because with the whole point of influencing and basically having control over something is to have power over someone, to be able to limit someone to something or some things, to also build that your influence, whoever you're influencing, whatever you're influenced, to build that person, that thing's tolerance and intolerance to what you get to choose. It's also for profit. Profit's a big money, it's a big exchange strip. Like, it can strip you away and limit you and crush you in many different ways. Again, it's to hold power, and it also basically it puts us in automatic thinking in these limited beliefs. But the reason that we are being influenced by anything, the masses are being influenced by anything, the whole reasoning behind being influenced is to have power, to hold limit on someone, on something, to build their tolerance. It's just to hold that control. Control is power. We give it up very free nilly. Like, we have given up so much privacy into having cool apps, in networking, to engaging with everybody else, to have pointless things. We have given up so much privacy, and we have normalized that. Okay? So also think about this. The most important kind of freedom involves attention, awareness, discipline, and being able to actually care about other people. When I say that's the most important kind of freedom, that's because you're willing and you're choosing to go that route. You're choosing to think and engage in that kind of way. The other people are like, that doesn't benefit you. That doesn't give you money. And you're like, it gives me more power than what that money and power that you worship can give me. Worshipping power, that moment you see someone more powerful, that moment you see something else more powerful, you will be devastated and crushed within yourself. You worship in your own intellect. You will crush and be devastated the moment you see a spark, or you realize, you're not the smartest, or your beliefs isn't full on proof. Also, so just something to really think about, just to really kind of like lead us out of this episode, is how do you really awaken? How do you not be so in control and influenced by the masses, by the small group, by these limited beliefs, by these very destructing and disgusting beliefs? A few things to think about. Watch what you consume is the biggest thing. Consuming what you eat, consuming what you emotionally take, boundary-wise. What are you engaging into? What are you supporting? What are you not engaging into that's still giving power, or, still hurting you in ways? You have to be aware. You have to take the responsibility to really take control of what's around you and your life. You can't complain and expect someone to, be there at the end when you're not even doing the work for yourself. What do you engage in and disengage in? Like I just said, really, really ask yourself that. What do you engage in and disengage in? What and how do you educate and decide for yourself? So where are you getting your information from? How are you deciding, is this true? Because guess what? Again, you have to have this sense of stability and trust within yourself that you're making the right choices. And if something doesn't make sense, or you just heard something, go do the research. Go read a book. go to the main source, go to the mouth of that comment, of whatever has been said. Do not take whatever the hell you read off Facebook, whatever you got, like, oh my god, like, society, like us now, modern time, whatever you see off Facebook, whatever you get a clip of, whatever picture with no credible freaking source behind it, you just take it and go. That's what everybody does, honestly. We really have to get to the core of doing the research and actually understanding where these beliefs and ideas and whatever is coming from. What is your value system, and how do you trust yourself in this universe? Like, again, what do you truly value? What do you stand by? And how do you trust yourself in this universe? And do you trust the universe? Okay, so yeah, that's what I really just want to lead the conversation out of. But to really be focused on how masses are being influenced and controlled, and if you feel like, is this you or is this not you? Start asking yourself these questions. Get in contact with me about that book, and I'd be happy to give it to you for free. Just contact me. But really take time to disconnect from social media, from the mass media, and ask yourself these questions. Put yourself in different situations that you have to actually learn to do something, or manage your way through it and reflect on that. All right, so I'm going to pull either 2 to 3 cards just for this podcast, this episode. So again, thank you guys so much for listening this far. Thank you for making it this far. This message will be for anyone who is listening, who is resonating with this. What does Spirit have to tell us in this moment? What should we be aware of? I was like, what is that noise? What can we take out of this message, this episode? Again, I really do encourage everyone to check out the documentaries, What the Health and Social Dilemma on Netflix. Please do your own research. Please do your own health research. Again, I'm also going to really just recommend everyone look into Eastern medicine and Eastern, what is it? Eastern way of living instead of Western. Oh my god. Okay, anyways. So, okay, great. So, things to get out of this episode from what the card is telling us. I pulled Earth. Earth is also nurturing. It's showing this feminine figure as a seed, and her back is just growing into this massive plant, and she's in the ground. It's raining, the roots are growing, the seeds are blossoming, like there's these little vibrations, circles just going around each other. But what I'm getting is nurture yourself, guys. Ground yourselves. Get outside again. Disconnect from social media. Disconnect from the mass media. Do not engage into things that do not benefit you and that do not serve you. Take your time to actually get away into nurturing yourself in nature. Take care of something. Take care of yourself. And we got the card. I pulled the card, buried in the earth, transference, and it shows a being under earth, underground, with a straw in their mouth, going through the ground into what seems like a shadow of a community. And what I'm seeing is really, again, connecting to your roots, taking time to nourish yourself, taking time to ground yourself. Okay, so what I'm getting also with this is that this person is going deep. This person is going within, and they are breathing. They are receiving the information, the knowledge of their ancestors, of the actual meanings, the core truths. They are doing the work for themselves to see what they truly believe in. So that's what I'm getting from this. I'll pull one more card. Alright, and then I got bones for casting divination. Alright, for divination, guys. Divination, I say if you need to book a reading with someone, do it. Learn tarot, learn oracle, learn how to read your own energy, learn different types and methods of divination to really just find a way to ground yourself and communicate with the universe, with your guides, and within yourself. So, with that being said, that's the card pull for today's episode. If you guys want to get in contact with me, my Instagram is Scorched Soul. Again, my Instagram is Scorched Soul. The O's are zeros. And if you need to email me, also, it's scorch.soul333@gmail.com. Again, scorch.soul333@gmail.com. And the O's, again, are zeros. I do readings. I do energy readings. I do natal chart readings. I am also helping out with content planning and just servicing in any other ways. I'm having a lot of services just come out and ways I'm branching out. So please look for my Instagram, and I have all my links and my website in my bio. Thank you for, again, listening to me and tuning in your frequency with mine. All I need to say is love and light, blessed be, and thank you for tuning in with me, and thank you for receiving my messages, receiving the messages from the divine, from the source, from within yourself. Take this time to really choose what you get to believe in, and